it's V. Welcome back to my channel, Critical Healing Moment. I wanted to film a life update for you all, and I'm hoping that the sound is okay because I'm not using my mic and there's birds. There's a river here that you can't see. And I'm hoping that this is a bit of a secluded part of this park, although the road is literally right in front of me because I can see cars through the trees. I just wanted to share an update with y'all that I got into grad school again and I will be transferring. I sent in my withdrawal form yesterday, so it's like kind of official. I told my recommenders what decision I made and what the update was, and so now it's kind of official and it's finally sort of settling in for me that I will be going back to school and I'll be continuing this social work journey. It has been kind of stressful and I was faced with a lot of doubt in the process of applying to transfer and just wondering if the field was right for me still. But during this time, since December, so since January, and right now it's like the end of April, for the last 4 months, I've had a lot of time to really think about things and reflect on things and where I want to go next in social work. And I would not have had this opportunity unless I was kind of forced to take that pause. So I have some gratitude for the experience that I went through in my previous program and with my internship, because they taught me a lot of lessons and it gave me a lot to think about in terms of what kind of social worker I want to be. When I first found out that I got into the program, it was really just I wasn't even thinking about going back to school or anticipating or anything. I was really just focused on my day-to-day life and just being in the moment, doing a good job at my grocery store job, getting along with my coworkers there, and working on my garden and focusing on sort of my household and taking care of things there. So when I found out that I got into school, I didn't really have much of a reaction, I think. I wasn't even relieved, which some people are like, oh, you must be so relieved. And I don't think I was. But after I sat down and read through the materials and started to map things out in terms of looking at the course schedules and getting a sense of what the field placement process would be like, and just getting more information about that, seeing how much the tuition costs and everything, it all started to settle in and I began to feel more excited about it. And this has all really happened within the last week or two. So I just sent in my deposit earlier this week and course registration is in the beginning of May. So things are happening very quickly, and I think a little bit more quickly than my little slower paced life that I've been having recently is used to or wants to have. I kind of wanted to talk about the reasons why I'm transferring. Originally, when I decided to pursue an MSW, I had this idea that I just really wanted the letters behind my name for some sort of external validation of my knowledge and expertise, and just giving me some sort of credibility in an area that I already know a lot about, just from work and life and my lived experiences and working in the community in organizing adjacent movements or groups or whatever you call it. I don't know. I still have a lot of doubts and questions about what kind of words to use to describe me and what I have been doing, because half of it doesn't seem legitimate to me, which is why I wanted to get the MSW. So I went into the program thinking, or I went into my search for programs thinking I just want to get in and out with the letters behind my name so that I can just go out there and do the work. Because ever since I was in undergraduate, it just really bored me being in school. I thought that things were too easy and I just wanted to actually just do things in the world. And I loved assignments where I actually got to work hands-on with people and things like that. But just the process of being in class was just really boring for me. I was just like, I just want to get, this grad school experience over with so I can just go and do the things I want to do. And in the process of doing that, I began to feel that bored feeling again because, as I mentioned in my expectations versus realities about first year in an online program, I wasn't feeling very challenged in the program. I was expecting to learn a lot more and expecting to learn something groundbreaking for me, because I believe that's where the learning happens. When you're really challenged with information, you learn something from the process. Even if it's not directly related to the content, you learn something about yourself in the process. And I wasn't really getting that from the coursework. I wasn't feeling like that there was really rigorous conversation around really important issues in social work about power, oppression, professionalism in the field, and these sorts of things. As I was in it, I realized that I wanted more than just to go in and out and get my MSW. I felt like I really needed to be having a worthwhile time, have it be worth my investment to have an experience that was enriching and that I felt like I was learning a lot and being challenged in a good way and in an empowering way, and not in a way that makes me feel belittled and filled with doubt. That's why I hope that when I go to this in-person program, and I will be registering for as many in-person classes as I can because I have both of my shots, so I'm somewhat protected. I really hope that by being in proximity to the professors and just other people, other peers and colleagues that are thinking about things and being able to join clubs and student unions and going to events and things like that, that I'll be really able to engage with social work in a really critical lens, in a way that's really moving the field forward and not just repeating the cycles or reinventing the wheel. Which is why I turned to making these videos, because I needed an outlet to talk about these things. And the nature of being in an online program, and I think the irony is my YouTube channel is online. The nature of being in an online program is that it feels kind of isolating because you're not surrounded by the students all the time. And then in my everyday life, there's very few people who are working directly in social work that I am in regular contact with. So I wasn't finding that sort of support and community I needed to be engaging with these topics, which has been the theme of my life. I've always felt like my thinking has been on another plane, on another universe, and I'm not very understood, which could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. So I've turned to the internet a lot to sort of process these thoughts and tease them out through blogs or through making videos. But in any case, just that feeling of boredom on top of this then very negative experience with supervision that completely escalated into something that did not need to happen. It was really unnecessary for me to go through a process that made me feel so gaslit and delusional and I was in a spiral of self-doubt, which I still occasionally, that feeling still pops up still to this day, just like wondering what even happened, like what even happened, why me, what happened, what did I do to deserve this. That experience on top of it and how the administration handled it made me really question what it meant to be a social worker. If all of these people involved in the process who held power over me were social workers, what could I actually have learned going through a social work program that I don't already know, that I haven't learned from doing anti-oppression work on my own with other communities and networks that I'm a part of? And so I kind of just, I'm the kind of person that wants to finish things that I start. And so I was like, I already invested so much into this degree that I might as well finish. And so I was like, I'm going to transfer. And in the process of applying to transfer and then waiting for the decision, I just let go of the idea of ever becoming a social worker because I had kind of been let down by the field. I do still see some areas where, like, they're kind of growing areas that excite me in social work, that these areas that are a little bit more innovative, areas of the field where people are really pushing the boundaries and being more innovative and thinking more broadly about the impact of the field as a whole, that really, really excites me. And so I'm excited to go into that. And I'm also excited that in this new program that I'm transferring to, I will have the opportunity to still minor in clinical. So that is still an option for me. I'll still have that opportunity to become independently licensed sort of in the back of my pocket, even though it's not necessarily something that I feel like I want or need at this moment. But I just want my options to be open. But I'm really excited to pivot into macro social work. And I do want to give a shout out to Gabby over at Mind Your Society, which is a channel here on YouTube. I did her course on macro social work, which was super helpful in sort of re-grounding myself in what I want to do. And I felt like that came out at the perfect time for me because I was feeling kind of lost and not really knowing what I wanted to do. The last thing I will say is that in these last few months working at my grocery store job, and it's been since February, so February, March, 3 months now at this point, like 3 months in a week I will have worked at this place. And I've honestly learned so much about people and life and relationships working at the store, just from doing my little job there. And as I was at work the other day, I think it was earlier this week, or I guess it would have been this past weekend or last week, I was just pushing around my cart doing my job, and it just like really kind of hit me that where I really wanted to land in social work was working in labor and working in sort of relation to workplaces. When I think back to a lot of my experiences since undergraduate, they have been related to people in the workplace. And I really feel like I'm able to sort of identify these threads and sort of pull them all together, and just like you're sewing and you pull that thread, it becomes like something, like a very clear picture of what it's supposed to be. And I'm really excited to have identified this for myself and have this be my focus in social work moving forward, and really being able to dig into it in the rest of my academic career. Yeah, so I think that's it. I mean, honestly, I could sit here and talk so much more about the different threads that kind of led me to social work, but maybe I'll just save that for another video. So that's it for this update. Thanks for listening, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. There's a lot more stuff in store, okay? So I've been working diligently for the last 2 days on another project, and I am working on my Joyful Growing series, which is still in progress, and I just filmed some clips for that today as well. But I have a lot more stuff coming that's just like beyond my YouTube channel, just another way to stay connected with me and just really build a more intimate community. So if you're interested in radical social work, critical social work for leftists, anti-capitalist social work, make sure you subscribe and make sure you're keeping up to date with all of my announcements, because very soon I will have something very big to share with everyone. And so I want to thank my almost 350 subscribers. We're almost there. It has been such a pleasure to make videos for you all, and I just want to be able to connect with you more. So with that being said, I hope you have a great day or night or afternoon or wherever it is, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!